The Puddle family was just like any other family, living in a small, cheerful house on Maple Lane. Their mornings were filled with laughter, a bit of chaos, and the comforting smell of breakfast wafting through the air. Dad loved making pancakes in all sorts of funny shapes: dinosaurs, stars, and sometimes even spaceships. Though today's creation looked more like a blob than anything else. "It's a blobosaurus," he declared proudly, flipping it onto a plate with a flourish. Leo giggled, poking the pancake with his fork, delighted by his dad's silly imagination and the wobbly breakfast on his plate. Meanwhile, Mia, who loved secrets and adventures, was under the table, whispering her latest plans to Barnaby, their loyal golden retriever, who listened with a wagging tail and big, trusting eyes. Mom tried to drink her coffee before it went cold, a daily challenge in a house so full of energy and noise. She smiled at her family's antics, even as she rescued her mug from a near spill. It was a happy, messy Saturday morning, one of those mornings that felt perfectly ordinary, until Barnaby suddenly started barking, his tail wagging furiously and his nose twitching with excitement. He scampered over to the corner and began nudging an old wooden chest, the one that usually just held extra blankets and winter scarves, but today seemed far more interesting. To everyone's surprise, the chest was glowing, a warm golden light peeking through the cracks, and a gentle humming sound filling the room, as if the chest itself was alive. The family gathered around, curiosity growing with every second. Even Mom put down her coffee, drawn in by the mysterious glow. "What is that?" Mia whispered, her eyes wide with wonder and a hint of excitement, her voice barely more than a breath. Leo, ever the brave explorer, couldn't resist. He reached out and gently touched the lid, feeling a strange tingle in his fingertips. The humming grew louder, the light brighter, filling the room with a magical energy that made everyone's hair stand on end. With a sudden click, the rusty old lock sprang open by itself as if inviting them to discover what was inside. The Puddle family exchanged amazed glances, their hearts pounding with excitement and a little bit of nervousness. Their ordinary morning had just turned extraordinary, and they all sensed that something incredible was about to happen. An adventure was waiting for them, right in their living room, and none of them wanted to miss a single moment. And so, the day began to change, as the magic of the chest promised to take them somewhere they'd never been before. Dad carefully lifted the chest's lid, and a dazzling golden light spilled out, filling the room with a warm, magical glow that made everyone's eyes widen in wonder. Inside the chest, nestled among soft velvet, was a rolled-up parchment tied with a shimmering ribbon, and beside it, a small, feather-shaped key that glinted like starlight, as if it held secrets of its own. Mia gasped, "It's treasure!" Her voice trembled with excitement. Leo's eyes grew wide as he stared at the mysterious map, his imagination already racing. Mom gently unrolled the parchment, a map of their backyard, but it was no ordinary map. It was transformed, alive with swirling colors and sparkling lines. The old oak tree was now called the Whispering Giant, its branches drawn as if they could talk and share ancient stories. The garden shed had become the gnome's grumpy grotto, a place that looked both mysterious and inviting on the map. And a brand new path, one they'd never noticed before, led to the Waterfall of Wishes, sparkling at the edge of the map. "A real-life treasure hunt!" Leo cheered, bouncing on his toes, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Can we go? Please?" the kids begged, their faces shining with hope. Dad grinned, unable to resist their excitement. "Of course!" Mom pointed to tiny, twinkling writing at the bottom of the map. "Let teamwork be your guide, and kindness be your light. The greatest treasure is the fun you find, day and night." Mia picked up the feather key, which sparkled and shimmered in her hand, feeling cool and mysterious to the touch. "What's it for?" she wondered aloud, her mind swirling with possibilities and questions. "We'll find out together," Mom said, smiling warmly, her eyes twinkling with excitement. With the magical map and sparkling key in hand, the Puddles family stepped eagerly into their backyard, ready for whatever awaited them. The air buzzed with magic and promise, every blade of grass and stone seeming to shimmer. The adventure had truly begun. The world was suddenly full of possibilities, and the puddles knew that anything could happen on this magical day. The first map challenge showed a giant nose and read, "Follow the scent of sweet surprise where the hungry garden flies." Dad sniffed the air dramatically. "This is a job for my super sniffer." He led the family past the roses to a hidden patch of wild strawberries buzzing with bees. They cheered and enjoyed the sweet berries. Next, the map pointed to the gnome's grumpy grotto, their shed, marked with question marks. On the shed door, a sign showed a sun, flower, raindrop, and bee. Mom studied it. "It's a story, sun, flower, rain, bee." Leo pressed the buttons in order. The shed door creaked open. The path to the next adventure was revealed. Teamwork and clever thinking had paid off. The family pressed on, excitement building. The adventure was just getting started. Every step brought new surprises. They hurried inside, ready for the next challenge. Inside the shed, a ladder led to a scroll hanging high above. "My turn," Leo declared, climbing carefully as Dad steadied the ladder. He reached, stretched, and grabbed the scroll. The clue read, "To cross the chattering stream, you must ask the squirrel team." The chattering stream was their sprinkler, spraying across the lawn. How to ask squirrels for help. All eyes turned to Mia. She sat by the oak tree and whispered to two squirrels. They chittered back, and Mia translated, "They want a shiny red berry." The family offered berries. The squirrels returned, dragging a sturdy plank. They placed it across the sprinkler, creating a perfect bridge. The family crossed, laughing. Leo's courage and Mia's animal whispers had saved the day. The adventure continued, each challenge bringing them closer. The next clue awaited. The magic of teamwork was everywhere. On the other side, a painted rock with a grumpy face blocked their way. "Answer my riddles 3 or you shall not pass," boomed a tiny magical voice. First riddle, "I have cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, water but no fish. What am I?" Mom smiled. "A map," correct. Second riddle, "What has to be broken before you can use it?" Mia grinned. "An egg," correct again. Final riddle, "What is full of holes but still holds water?" Mia picked up a sponge. "A sponge!" The gnome laughed. "Correct!" The rock's grumpy face turned into a smile. The path was open. The family's cleverness had triumphed. They moved forward, spirits high. The treasure felt closer than ever. Nothing could stop them now. The map led to the thorny tangle, their blackberry bush now covered in sticky, silvery web. In the center hung a silver bell. A note read, "Ring the bell to clear the way, but do not touch the sticky spray." The web was too sticky to reach through. Leo had an idea. "I'll use my bouncy ball." He aimed, threw, and missed. The family cheered him on. "Try again," they encouraged. Leo took a deep breath, aimed, and hit the bell perfectly. The web dissolved into sparkling dust. The path was clear. Leo's persistence and the family's support made all the difference. They hurried through, hearts pounding. The adventure was almost at its end. The waterfall of wishes awaited. One last challenge remained. The treasure was within reach. Beyond the bush, a hidden grotto and a shimmering waterfall appeared. In the pool below, a locked box glinted. The map ended at the sparkling X. Mia's feather-shaped key glowed in her hand. "The key," she whispered, but the box was deep in the water. Dad called, "Let's use sticks like giant chopsticks." Working together, they fished the box out. Mia fit the key into the lock. It turned with a satisfying click. The box was open. The family held their breath, ready for the treasure. They had made it together. The adventure had brought out the best in each of them. The moment was magical. The true reward was about to be revealed. The family gathered close. Inside the mysterious box, the family found 4 smooth, shining stones, each one carefully carved with a special word: strength, wisdom, and courage. The stones seemed to glow with a gentle, magical light, as if they held secrets from long ago. And the 4th stone, smaller but just as bright, was carved with the word kindness. Tucked beneath the stones was a handwritten note. It read, The greatest treasure is not gold or fame, but the love you share and the memories you make together as a family. The family exchanged smiles, their hearts full, realizing that the true gift of their adventure wasn't what they found, but what they felt. Dad flexed his arms and grinned. "Strength!" he declared, feeling braver than ever. Mom tapped her head with a knowing smile. "Wisdom!" she said, proud of the clever choices they'd made together. Leo puffed out his chest. "Courage!" he shouted, remembering how he'd faced his fears. Mia hugged Barnaby tight and whispered, "Kindness," thinking of all the ways they'd helped each other. The map hadn't given them these treasures. It had simply helped them discover what was already inside their hearts. As the sun began to set, the magic slowly faded away. The sparkling waterfall became just a garden hose, the mysterious grotto turned back into a simple pile of rocks, and the ancient oak tree was just their favorite tree in the yard. But something inside them had changed forever. They walked inside, hand in hand, feeling closer than ever before, their hearts full of joy and wonder. Their ordinary Saturday had become something truly extraordinary, a day they would never forget. The real magic, they realized, was simply being together, sharing laughter and love. The adventure would live on in their memories, a story to tell for years to come. The Puddle family knew now that they could find magic anywhere, as long as they stuck together as a team. The sun set on their adventure, marking the end of the day, but not the end of their adventures together. And so, the Puddle family's greatest treasure was not found in a box, but in each other's company. The adventure was over, but the magic of family remained, shining in their hearts. And that's the story of one perfectly extraordinary day, a day when the Puddle family discovered the real treasure was always right at home.